We had the pleasure that His Majesty the King opened the first phase of this project last year. So we've been in operation for almost a year and a couple of months. The old terminal had reached its capacity a long time ago. So we had to go for a new terminal building that will fulfill the ambition of His Majesty in person and the country as a whole.
There were a lot of studies done both on economic level and also on operational level. And there was about 6 or 7 months, if I remember correctly, of debate amongst the different agencies, interagencies within the government. But at the end of the day, the government had a lot of vision into understanding that we need a change, and that change cannot happen without involving somehow the private sector in the running and the building of the airport. There's a lot of nostalgia normally in building airports because countries think that they can build the best and the biggest airports in the world, especially in our part of the world where there's an abundance of cash. Therefore, most countries within the region build huge airports because they can afford it, and then they wait for the passengers to come in. In Jordan's case, this is not valid. We are a poor country with poor resources. Therefore, it was important to have a project that makes economic sense. The economic sense comes from doing initial studies, but also verifying those studies. I think the International Finance Corporation has provided through its consultancy services the efficiency and the professionalism in building a project that is bankable. As you've mentioned, the bankability of the project depends on the economic fundamentals, on the return for the investor, on the return for the government, and the sustainability of the project. But I can safely say that Jordan's experience in privatization started in the mid-90s, and we have learned from mistakes. Therefore, there is no way out of doing a competitive bidding process that allows, first of all, the government and the country to get the best result out of it, but also ensures the transparency and objectivity for the serious investors. I think it has achieved the goals that were set forth at the beginning. Number one is you need an airport. You don't have money to pay for it. But more importantly, I think it is in improving the level of services, which will reflect on the projects or the airport's ability to attract more passengers, more airlines. Therefore, will have a multiple effect on the economy of Jordan. We've established this. And this is very evident by the number of passengers that have increased. Because of the airport, we have been able to attract passengers in and out of the country and through the airport, which at the end of the day is an added value to the economy. We were lagging in all of the aspects of airport services. Today, I'm proud to say that we are amongst the first 50 airports in the world in terms of level of services, which is an incredible achievement as far as I'm concerned.
Before the government entered this concession, the airport, the old terminal, was barely making its cost, its running cost. Now, in 2013, this new terminal building has fed the Central Bank of Jordan more than $200 million in 1 year. We are in public-private partnership. The government still has sovereignty, and the authorities within the government maintain and look after that sovereignty. And I proudly say that these authorities are performing at a much higher standard than was seen in the old building, because they understood that the investor is here for their benefit, is here for improving services at the airport, and they are really trying to match the standards needed for such an airport. The grantor, of course, is the government of Jordan. And the Ministry of Transport, represented by the Minister of Transport himself, is the representative of the government of Jordan. So it was decided to establish a unit within the Ministry of Transport to look after this project. That's why the project management unit, which is the PMU, was established to overlook and oversee all the operations in this project. And proudly, really, the PMU has been doing a good job. When we first came on board, it was a new concept for us. We are used as engineers in dealing with what we call FIDIC contracts. That has only three sides: the client, the engineer, and the contractor. The concept of partnership is completely different. So we don't look as government. We don't have the clout of the government here now. No, we operate in a spirit of partnership. If the investor is doing well, if he's making profit, 54% of that money that he's making comes back to us. So if we assist the investor in succeeding and achieving the goals, it is eventually a good thing for the government as well. We realize that we have trained our staff. The IFC has really participated in training our staff as well, both locally and abroad. And I think we are a good match to the investor these days. Now I think having operated the airport for over a year, people realize that this is a good thing. There is a nice story and a good story to tell. And the airport has won so many awards since opening. And people have learned that this is a very good project. And the perception with the public has changed. And we get nowadays the support of everybody, and everybody is supportive, knowing that the airport is feeding the central bank with so much money every year, and it's making profit. That's why really the views of the people themselves have changed, and now we get really compliments and support from all over the country.